Alright, so we're ready to make our final adjustments and create the camera for our scene. So I'm looking at this and I can see that this house is mostly rectangular. So we have the VistaVision preset, which is almost square. So I don't think this is going to work really well. So I'm going to change the render preset. I'm going to open the render setup. And on output size, I'm going to switch this to HDTV because it's more rectangular. It's going to work best with our geometry. So I'm going to close this up and I'm just going to try to fit this closely, but not too perfectly right now. And then I'm going to switch to a top view and I'm going to create my camera. So you can use the toolbar and create the physical camera here, or you can go to the Create panel, Cameras, and Physical Camera. So I'm just going to click and drag. There you go. Exit the Creation tool. And I just want to jump this camera to this view that I got here. So I'm going to select the camera, middle click the framing that I like, and then press Ctrl C. Now the camera is going to jump into the position that we want, and from now I just have to switch this from perspective to the physical camera. Okay? So it's that easy. Now let's just move this around just so it looks close to what we want. I want something like this, and maybe on the front view we can change this relation here, maybe lower this a bit and lower this a bit more, just trying to tweak this to the best of our abilities. I'm going to zoom this in, maybe move this over. There you go. Looks good. Remember, just do the framing that you want to do. Just fit the camera where you feel like fitting. And when you're happy with it, we can move on to the next stage, which is just tweaking a few parameters in our camera. So I'm going to switch to the Modify panel. And in here, as you can see, you can set the film of your camera. I'm going to leave it on the standard because I really like it. You can play with the focal length. And down here on the perspective control, we can change the tilt correction so that our architecture looks straight in the camera. We don't want this to be distorted because it doesn't look good on render. So if we leave it in the default, we won't have straight lines. So instead, I'm just going to switch this until I have pretty straight lines. Doesn't have to be perfect. Actually, I think a little off is a good thing, but just try to leave it close to perfect so that all your lines are straight and everything's looking good. And once we do that, let's just do a quick test render to see how everything looks right now. All right, we are done with the lighting of our scene, so that concludes this module. In our next module, we're going to focus our attention on the materials of this beautiful scene. So I'll see you guys then.